Here comes the Race All-Star Series race, the Legends Trophy in Indianapolis.
And there it is. Green flag out. They accelerate to the start.
Green flag, go, go, go.
Clean through turn one, which is, of course, very important because they are so crowded up together. It remains Alonso out in front at the Indianapolis 500, which we all expect to see someday.
Great to see Mario Andretti here. We're on board with him in the top right. He's in 25th, hasn't had a great start, but he's running with Alonso and Button, the race leaders. 80-year-old Mario Andretti, if he had been in this fight and hadn't had whatever troubles he's had, he would be able to keep with them.
As it's being played out here, I would much prefer to be in second place on the backstretch coming on the last lap. So that's where I would play it.
Alonso and Button are driving really cleverly here. I bet Alonso's actually frustrated to have Andretti a lap down just behind him, because otherwise they'd have a nice clear track back. But he's going to have to try and pass Jenson, because at the moment Magnussen, Servia and Plato, there's two bunches basically. The lead bunch, Button and Alonso, former F1 drivers, former teammates at McLaren, and then there's Magnussen, Servia and Plato. And the second group is catching Button and Alonso. And a little bump draft there from Alonso, just tapped the back of Button. And that's clearly what they're trying to do, to both pick up speed and keep ahead of that chasing pack of Servia, now ahead of Magnussen and Plato.
Out in front there, one would think that if Button wants to try it, into the first turn would be certainly in the draft where he is right there. But perhaps also part of the play is, I'm going to stay here. I like this second place, and maybe this will serve me on the final lap.
They're just checking out from that group behind now. 5 seconds back is Jan Magnussen.
This is a replay.
View from Button as he pulls out on the main straight, times that one perfectly.
Button and Alonso out front with Mario Andretti in behind them still. But Button and Alonso fighting for the win as they come down the back straight.
Every turn is entirely different, even though physically they are the same. Jack?
2 minutes to go, 2 minutes left to run, and Alonso is still happy to just sit behind Jenson, Button in the battle for the lead. Magnussen and Montero is the fight we've been watching for third place, but now with less than 2 minutes on the clock, it's all about Alonso versus Button for the win in the Legends Trophy. Alonso goes for it now, down into 3, has the inside line.
Surely neither of them are going to want to be leading onto the final lap. The slipstream's so huge that, another big accident in front. They've done well to get around that. There might have been Castro Neves. But here we go then, barely any time left, and now Alonso in the lead from Button. The slipstream effect is big. Here comes Jenson, Button chasing Alonso, and what will they do in terms of tactics now?
Again, we're talking about second place. If you want to win, that's the perfect place to be. The distance between both Alonso and Button is, well, now it's closing in. It was a little further than I wanted to see. Is he going to make this happen? And he does. Button goes to the lead. Alonso second. Magnussen remains in third, but he's well back. Now, looks like Alonso is going to try to come back at him.
And now they've got to battle it out with just about a lap to go to see who can win this strategic battle. This is fascinating.
And again, the aerodynamics make all the difference in the world. Interestingly, though, the cars themselves, unlike, for example, Formula One, you can't make that many adjustments to them. They're not to be changed all that much. And here goes Alonso.
Right on the back of Button. Through 4. Oh, big moment for Button. Almost wrecks, but Alonso's in front. And there's the white flag. It's the final lap on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Thiago Montero and Jan Magnussen battling in the top right, but it's all eyes on Button v Alonso. Alonso's in front. Button behind, trying to get the run onto the backstretch. Alonso blocks. Button to the outside into 3.
Still, Button can't get the job done. One more turn to come. Alonso's going to hold on. Button closing in. It's a drag race to the line. And it's Alonso that wins on the Indianapolis Oval Circuit in the Legends Trophy. 0.07 of a second between them at the line. What a race between Alonso and Button. Less than 1/10 of a second between them across the line. That was absolutely brilliant. Button second, Magnussen in third, but it's Fernando Alonso who takes the victory in the Legends Trophy at Indianapolis.
We really enjoyed your fight with Jenson Button in particular in the first race. How did you think you had that one? Because he had the lead going into the last lap almost.
Yeah, no. Obviously, I was super scared of losing the race. I know Jenson is a very smart guy, and we both playing games, trying to be in front or behind and trying to study the other one. But with Jenson, you never know. He's always one step ahead, and I was very worried that the win could slip. But it was okay. He had a moment in 10-4, I think 1 lap before the end, and that was enough of a gap in my case.
Jenson, that was a great fight. It looked pretty intense, I got to say, between you and Fernando for the whole race.
Yeah, as soon as we got a bit of a gap, I think it was like 3 or 4, a couple of car lengths, the cars behind, then you got to work together, which was pretty good actually. And then we just pulled away. But the problem is when you're behind, you're getting a lot more oversteer through the corners, so it's difficult to fight. And then with 1 lap to go, I don't think Fernando tapped me coming onto the main straight. I think it was just because we were so close. But I got a massive snap of oversteer. And that really cost my position in terms of trying to lead the last lap, because you got to be leading the last lap to actually win, because you can't overtake if the guy's blocking. So, but awesome, really good fun, and you always want to win this race. But a great battle. Hopefully, we did it proud, the Indy 500, and it's also good for my championship.